Are you tempted sometimes to wonder if reality is a simulation? Because I think that, but if I had that experience, the experience that you've had with some of the big events, I would definitely start to get more suspicious whether or not reality is a simulation.
I think it is weird that everybody sees that our brains are good at looking at patterns, and we see the coincidences in life. And I've had some really wild ones. Like if I told you some of the things that have happened in my life, where like me and friends have talked about things, and then you watch them unfold in the next 24 hours, like bizarre stuff. The fact that I remain a skeptic. I've got friends who are very superstitious. I've got friends who are religious, and when I tell them about some of these experiences, they're like, "How are you a skeptic? Like you've gone through that, and that didn't convince you." So I've had some weird things happen. Um, I can, I think the chances are probably 98% that we're in a simulation. The odds that we're not in a simulation are very unlikely. And there's a lot of physicists who believe the same thing, because we're going to eventually simulate universes as long as we don't, kill ourselves or go extinct in the next 1,000 years. We're going to be simulating entire universes on computers, and this is the basis of one of my short stories, The Plagiarist. Um, and any universe that comes into existence is going to simulate other entire universes. So for us to be the real universe, we'd have to be the first one. Every other universe is going to be a made-up universe, and we've learned not to give ourselves primacy. The Earth was at the center of the solar system. Our solar system is just, 3/4 of the way out of a spiral arm of a pretty nondescript galaxy. All these little fuzzy patches in the sky are galaxies, not just always stars. We know that, our universe is probably one of an infinite number of universes. And there's just a story today about the possibility that we're seeing measurements from a parallel universe where the forces of physics are a little different. So the idea that we were the first and we're going to simulate all the universes seems unlikely to me. I think it's much more likely that we're someone's experiment or entertainment, or who knows. It would
Yeah,
explain a lot.
fascinating. Exactly.
Yes.
Reading Wayfinding, I thought I had you. I can never decide if you're quite a pessimist or an optimist, because depending on your book, it's always a little bit somewhere in the middle, I think, is the answer. But I would have thought you would be a hardcore skeptic, but not at all. 98% chance, huh?
Well, I think that is skepticism. I think it would take a huge leap of faith to say that, no, we're the original. And, that's the same hubris that leads to religious kind of conversions. But I think it's the skeptic position that, hey, we're probably all just made up. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think it's just, our simulations are getting better and way quicker than they should have. We just came up with computers like 70 years ago, and we're already simulating complex things like nuclear explosions on these massive supercomputers, and doing weather forecasting that the current chess and Go champions are computers. So we're doing things on a pace that even the optimists didn't think we would pull off.
Yeah, I like to imagine that when we end up in Blitz and Chips, having just played Roy, for the Rick and Morty fans that know that one, when we get out of the simulation, I imagine somebody saying to me, "Dude, you lived during a time when you started off with Atari, you had Frogger, and then you went on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was right there in front of me. We thought it was a little on the nose that it would give the whole thing away, but
Yeah, the hints are crazy. There's so many things that happen in the headlines that I think no author could get away with this. Like, you cannot come up with this stuff. And it makes me think that there are some writers out there, and they're the ones running the simulation.